where science and spirituality finally agree on. You've been told a story your whole life about who you are. That you're a physical body, your brain is just a bunch of electrical signals, and you live in a world of solid, separate things. But what if that story is incomplete? What if the most mind-bending science of our time, quantum physics, is revealing a reality that sounds a lot less like a machine and a lot more like something else, something that ancient spiritual traditions have been talking about for centuries? This isn't about choosing faith over facts. This is the story of how a long-standing wall between two ways of seeing the world might not be crumbling, but revealing a hidden door. Section 1. The Great Divide. For centuries, there's been a battle for the truth of your existence. On one side, we have materialism, the idea that everything is just matter and energy, governed by cold, impersonal laws. In this version of the story, the universe is a giant, unthinking machine, and you're a complex cog within it. Your thoughts, your feelings, your consciousness, it's all just a ghost in the machine that disappears when the machine stops running. It can be a lonely story, one that leaves us feeling like disconnected specks in a vast, random cosmos. On the other side, we have the collected wisdom of mystics and spiritual traditions from all over the world. They told a very different story, that consciousness isn't just some random byproduct of matter, but is actually fundamental to everything. The universe is a living, intelligent whole, and you're not separate from it. You're a part of it. Your individual awareness is like a wave in a vast ocean of consciousness. In this story, being separate is the illusion, and we're all profoundly connected. For a long time, you had to pick a side: the tangible, provable world of science, or the intangible, experiential world of spirit. We were caught between reason and meaning, logic and intuition. But that rigid divide is starting to look a lot less solid, and the thing shaking it up is coming from the last place anyone expected: the beautifully strange and paradoxical world of quantum physics. Section 2. The Unexpected Peacemaker. When physicists first started looking into the subatomic realm, they expected to find the tiny, solid building blocks of our mechanical universe, little billiard balls that behaved in predictable ways. Instead, they found a world that behaves more like a dream. The first clue was the famous double-slit experiment. Here's the gist. When you fire tiny particles, like electrons, at a screen with two slits in it, something wild happens. If no one is looking, the electrons act like a wave of pure potential, spreading out and passing through both slits at once. They create a wave-like interference pattern on the other side, which tells us they explored all possibilities simultaneously. But, and this is the kicker, the moment you place a detector at the slits to observe which path the electron takes, the wave of possibility collapses. The electron snaps to attention, behaves like a good solid particle, and picks just one path. Now let's be super clear about this. Most physicists agree the observer doesn't have to be a person. Any interaction with the environment that measures the particle is enough to force this choice. Still, the philosophical ripple effects are huge. The very act of interaction seems to force the universe to collapse from a state of infinite possibility into one single concrete reality. It was the first scientific hint that the line between the observer and the observed wasn't nearly as sharp as we thought. The second, even weirder clue is what Einstein famously called spooky action at a distance. Today, we call it quantum entanglement. Imagine you have two particles that are fundamentally linked, You can send them to opposite ends of the galaxy. The instant you measure a property of one particle, like its spin, you instantly know the spin of its partner. It's as if they're communicating faster than the speed of light, which, according to everything we know about the universe, should be impossible. Again, there's no scientific evidence that you are quantumly entangled with your coffee cup. But what entanglement does is shatter the old-school idea of separation. It presents a powerful scientific metaphor that at the deepest level of reality, the idea that things are ever truly separate might be the biggest illusion of all. If this is sparking something in you, and you've ever felt there's more to reality than what we see, hit that subscribe button and join the conversation below. What does this strange new picture of the universe mean to you? Section 3. A new language for ancient truths. This is where the wall between science and spirituality starts to look less like a wall and more like a bridge. Quantum physics doesn't prove the claims of ancient mystics. What it does is provide a new, scientifically backed language that describes a reality that sounds uncannily similar to what those mystics have been talking about for millennia. Take the observer effect. The idea that a wave of potential snaps into a concrete reality through interaction has a fascinating echo in spiritual teachings that say our focus and attention play a role in shaping our reality. It doesn't mean you can wish for a car and make it appear, but it does open a profound conversation about the relationship between awareness and the physical world. Then there's quantum entanglement, that spooky interconnectedness. It serves as a stunning scientific parallel to the spiritual concept of oneness, the idea, found in traditions like Buddhism and Vedanta, that we are all part of a single, unified whole. For the first time, science was revealing a universe that, at its very foundation, doesn't play by the rules of separation we experience every day. Science was mapping the universe from the outside in. Spirituality was experiencing it from the inside out. And now, their maps are starting to have some shockingly similar landmarks. Section 4. The multi-dimensional you. This convergence of ideas points toward a revolutionary new way to think about yourself as a multi-dimensional being. Now, this isn't just poetry. It's a concept that pops up in a few very different fields. First, in theoretical physics, you have ideas like string theory. It's totally speculative and unproven, but for its math to work, it requires the existence of 10 or 11 dimensions, most of which are curled up so small we can't see them. It's a mathematical framework, not confirmed reality, but it makes you wonder what could exist in those hidden dimensions. Second, in neuroscience, when scientists talk about the dimensions of consciousness, they're talking about different aspects of our experience, like our level of awareness, the richness of our senses, or our sense of self. You have a bodily self, feeling like you're in a body, a perspectival self, seeing from your own point of view, and a narrative self, the story you tell about your life. These are all different dimensions of your conscious experience. And third, you have ancient wisdom, which has always said we're multidimensional. These traditions speak of subtle energy bodies, higher planes of existence, and levels of consciousness beyond our physical form. Let's be very clear. These three fields are not formally agreeing with each other. Neuroscience doesn't support ideas that the brain is just a receiver for cosmic consciousness, and string theory is still just that, a theory. But the pattern is what's so powerful. You have physics postulating hidden physical dimensions. You have neuroscience mapping different dimensions of our inner world. And you have spiritual traditions talking about dimensions of the self. They aren't saying the same thing, but they are all using a similar framework. That what you experience as you and reality is just one sliver of a much larger, more complex existence. Conclusion: the bridge between worlds. The long-standing conflict between science and spirituality isn't ending with one side winning. It's evolving. The old story of a dead, mechanical universe is being replaced by one that is stranger, more connected, and more mysterious than we ever dared to imagine. Science has not proven spirituality. What it has done, in its own rigorous way, is dismantle the foundations of a purely materialist worldview. It has kicked the door wide open to possibility. It has shown us a world where solid things aren't so solid, empty space isn't so empty, and the separation between things may be the ultimate illusion. The new story that's emerging is about you. You are not just a biological machine in a dead universe, nor a disembodied spirit in an unprovable realm. You are the bridge between worlds. Your very existence is a testament to the idea that matter and spirit might not be two opposing forces, but two faces of one unified reality. This doesn't just change how you see the universe, it changes how you see yourself. It points to a potential, a power, and a connection to the cosmos that we are only just beginning to understand. The greatest mystery isn't what's out there among the stars. It's what's in here, and what science and spirit are both suggesting you might truly be. If you want to explore more about how these revolutionary ideas are reshaping our world, check out the video on your screen now. And please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to continue exploring the frontiers where science and consciousness meet.